Make a dork.
You said that just in time.
Mhm.
And we're live.
We're live.
And we're alive.
Just trying to see where it pops up. Oh, there it goes.
Any day now, Kegel.
Oh, all right. I was gonna make a post that we were live, but all right. We'll
You've got
start it
another
up.
job.
This one's
All right.
important.
Any day now.
Yes, sir. Reading you loud and clear. Clear. The clock has started.
The clock is starting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I always forget there's a little more at the end there. And welcome to Pressing for Flight, live from the Space Coast, where the schedule never holds. So
It's getting close to some action here.
keep that in mind as we start to talk about this schedule, because we have dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got dates. And
Dates.
any of you viewers out there that would like a reliable source for launch dates, and reliable's, it's debatable because the dates themselves aren't reliable, but this is my go-to website. It's Spaceflight Now. I always just Google search launch schedule, and this is what pops up, but it is... it's my website of choice for just looking out into the future of what's coming up, because you really can't be sure about anything unless it's a couple weeks away, but it's always nice to see what's coming up. But this website has every launch like in the world that I guess that's public knowledge. I mean, oh hell, they've even got we got one for China. I was going to say maybe China's not listed, but number one is China. But we have a couple dates. One date is the static fire of the Crew Dragon spacecraft, and this is the test that blew up the last one on April 20th, I think. And actually, today, SpaceX put out a little video. I'll show you guys of a test leading up to the test, I guess.
Look at it burn.
It's so pretty. And to me, it looks like it is actually on the side of the Dragon, but this, I guess, could be just the housing that's around it or something. I don't know. Somebody, and I don't even know who it was in the comments, but they pointed out that this wasn't actually the Dragon. This was just a part of it or something. But either way, this leading up. There's work being done. It's starting to become more apparent that things are happening. We've been in this drought so long, it seems like we don't even launch things anymore.
Right? What's a launch?
Exactly. Yeah.
What is that? How does that work?
We still have those. We're still in the Space Coast, right?
So they have to get through this static fire where they're going to hold down the Dragon and fire the Super Dracos, which are the engines that they'll use to abort away from in the unlikely event of the rocket exploding underneath it. And I think they actually go through the profile, if it happens, the engines, because they don't just burn as hard as they can. I'm sure they have some sort of steering that they do. So they're going to actually go through that flight profile, and they have to do that before they can do the in-flight abort test, which is one that we're all really looking forward to. And probably, there's probably a lot of people traveling here for this. So if you have some creepy light going on. Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Oh, okay. It's
Is there
like
ghosts
it's like
behind what's
you
going
got
on?
that at Spencer's or something.
Yeah, man. Make a dork status. That's right.
So don't go booking your flights yet. The rule always is, book your trip as late as possible if you ever want to see a launch, and plan your first day to be like the day before the launch, because you don't want to get there at the wrong time and miss the launch because you got there in the evening and it was in the morning. But schedule your arrival to be the day before the launch is supposed to happen, and then have at least 4 or 5 extra days after for the scrubs.
And also make sure your flights and your hotel are flexible with you. Like there's,
Right.
they have refund policies. They're willing to, for instance, when we went to the NASA Social, they were really flexible with us because it did. The Parker Solar Probe, it ended up, flexing a couple of times, ended up going off on that. I believe it was that Sunday.
Who'd you
Sunday.
fly
Parker
with?
Fuller.
Who'd you fly with?
No, that was when we were here. I'm just saying.
Oh,
So,
Parker.
like,
Parker was
yeah,
from here. I thought you went out to
yeah.
California or something.
Oh no. So anybody who's planning on coming down, just make sure that your travel plans, like Steve was saying, is just make sure they're flexible.
Yeah.
Very important, because if not, you'll lose a lot of money.
Yeah, and it is nice, even if you miss the launch, it's nice to go to the beach and you get to go to Kennedy and stuff. But if you're a space nut and you're coming to see a launch, you don't want to miss it, obviously.
Mhm.
But that Dragon static fire is supposed to be November 2nd. That's not this Saturday, but next, so that's coming up.
Glad I have the weekends off.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe you'll get to see something. Now
Maybe I could talk to a buddy with a boat.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'd asked Julia, because Julia's kind of like, she knows the lay of the land very well. And so I asked her if there was anywhere that she can think of that you can actually see the pad at LZ1. And that was her first suggestion. She's like, you can get a boat. You're not going to know. You're not going to know what time. That's the only thing, is whoever takes you out, they need to know that this is like an all-day affair, and they may not go, and you won't even know that they're not going to do it.
Well,
And hopefully
maybe we'll go fishing while we're out there.
Well, yeah, there you go.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, bring a fishing buddy.
What a horrible day. Get to spend it on a boat all day.
Yeah.
Fishing.
Fish, maybe some brewskis, have the camera ready.
Yeah.
Pay
And
attention to Twitter.
I think you'd want to make sure you have internet. Like, make sure you have connection to the cell phone towers and stuff, because you're going to want to have some, because there might be some trickle information. Like, at some point someone might blurt out, oh, by the way, it's not happening today. And then at least that, because it doesn't have to be during the day, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? It could be at night.
I've been out up to about 5 miles on the boat and still got cell phone reception, just because it ricochets off the water. There's nothing to block it. It just keeps until it fades out.
Right. Yeah. Until you go too far over the horizon. Well, unless you're Mad Mike, there is no horizon. I hope so. I hope some of the people that listen to this listen to that. We had Mad Mike on on mine and Bekah's other podcast, Verbal.
It was
Assault.
great.
It was really good. It's worth listening to. He's all over the place, but
he's the talker.
He's definitely not boring at all. Okay, so November 2nd, static fire, and if that goes well, then they're planning on a late November in-flight abort test. But that's not an actual date. An actual date is something more like, where to go?
We're on the edge of our seat.
December 4th, we have SpaceX CRS-19. That is a Dragon mission, cargo only, of course.
Yep.
And this is the first generation Dragon. This isn't the Crew Dragon, the one that we're all looking forward to seeing. But it is always cool to see him. One of the main reasons that it's cool to see a CRS mission is because almost every one, there's only been one that I can think of since they started landing on land that was one where they landed on the drone ship. So this should be a land landing, and
LZ1.
Yeah, we all know how spectacular that is.
Oh yeah,
Atomic
I don't.
No, Bekah's never seen one. Yeah,
you have not experienced that.
Yeah,
You never see? Oh,
yeah, she's not been here long enough, man. There's not been enough launches. She's only got
Get that iPhone 11 out.
Wait, hold on. You didn't check out the last Falcon Heavy launch?
She wasn't here
from
yet.
Jetty Park?
Nope.
She wasn't here yet. She didn't move here until July.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I still have a couple of new experiences waiting for me.
Oh, it's quite a good one too.
I'm excited. That's
man.
probably I think that's the thing that my
I'm
my
getting
soul
goosebumps.
has been missing is the sound of it landing. That's the thing that I really want to hear.
Unlike anything, it's absolutely fantastic.
And I'm
catch you off guard.
I'm glad you get to see a single stick landing, and then at some point down the road, you'll get to see a Falcon Heavy double stick.
Oh man, that is
What does all that mean?
Single stick. Well, Falcon 9 is just a single stick, right? It's just
Okay.
one rocket.
And then the Falcon Heavy is 3 side by side, 3 boosters.
Okay.
You've seen pictures. Do I need to pull up one?
Yes, I have. Nope. I see it in my head now.
Okay.
And then two
then,
come back
Thank
and
you.
land right next to each other.
Yeah, the 2 side boosters come back and land.
And then the legs come out.
And there's
Okay.
a lot
I've
of
seen-
sonic booms.
I've seen videos of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd like to see that in person.
Yeah,
we have yet to have a Senecor landing be successful. So
yeah, that'll be a big day in the port when they finally do that, and we
it's
get
gonna
to
be
see.
huge.
Everything
Yeah.
rolls through.
Everybody wants to get those up close detail shots of it. I mean, we've seen it on the pad and stuff, but when you see it coming back on a drone ship, it's just different because it's gonna look different.
Yep.
The little
All
arms that
soupy.
hold the other two boosters are going to be folded up now. It's just different things to see, and it's always fun to be able to take those pictures and share them.
Yeah, they had both the ships had all the nets out the other day.
That's right. Yeah, I can go ahead.
I was
and
out in the port. I already saw the photos, and then I was out in the port, and I was staring at them. I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, John Krause got some good shots. There's both Miss Chief and Miss Tree. Actually, Miss Tree's being covered up by a tugboat. But let's see, Crystal. She's at Star Shattered on Twitter. She got some good shots. She actually got this shot of an astronaut dummy. Did you see this?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, they were maneuvering it around.
Yeah. I didn't even know those existed. I mean, it makes sense, but I'd never seen one.
Kind of looks like Neil Armstrong.
What kind of lens was she using?
Yeah, she's probably got a big old lens, and this could have been. Let's see. Yeah, because look, this shot here is pretty close. They could have been parked right over there near Fish Lips,
right, or maybe on a boat too. Going by on a boat.
Oh, yeah. Crystal? I don't know because right here they've got this. You can see dock right here. I think this is just she's got lucky. She was up close and they were moving stuff around, and that was it was awesome that she got that. Way to go, Crystal! And then
1 in a million chances you're wandering around out there.
There's a new paint job on. Of course, I Still Love You, or at least they're working on it. The garage doors for Octograbber have been painted. But man, this Richard Angle, he is just incredible. The color in his photos, man, I don't know. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he's just cranking the saturation, but it looks like he's doing something more. I want to talk to him about that. I don't know.
That's full frame for you, man.
I don't know if that's does that bring out more color necessarily? I thought it was just higher resolution.
Full frame definitely gives you more of everything.
Yeah, but these are
full
just
frame is a 9-day difference. Yeah, full frame. Full frame versus crop. Of course, we're not going to, get into photography, but it's definitely a difference for sure.
Right.
So, Richard, if you're listening to the show, get back with me or Steve-O.
Yeah, tell us how you do that color.
How you do the color?
Yeah, bring it the color.
I mean, I was thinking it might be something where you maybe you shoot it a little bit underexposed so that whenever you boost, take the exposure back up in post or the saturation up, maybe it doesn't, completely flood it. But I don't know. I just love Richard's shots. He's just really good.
Yeah, he always got.
And he's shooting for Teslarati now, and I think he totally deserves that. And they're going to have a lot of great shots to use for their articles and stuff. So they both got their nets, and at some point we will see a star. Like in the middle of all this, there's a Starlink launch sitting out there in the foggy forest, the mystic land somewhere. That eventually a date's going to pop up and be like, "Oh shit, that's only 2 weeks away" or whatever. I'm sure that's what it's going to be. It's probably going to be like right in the middle of November. It could be 2 weeks away right now. We just don't know it.
Elon tweeted off of the Starlink the other day.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, like a few days.
We did have it.
Huh?
So we did have a date, but then it got passed. So.
Yeah. The date was the 17th of this month, and we're definitely past that now.
Again, this is why we say the schedule never holds.
The schedule never holds.
Never holds.
I know.
But when it finally goes off, it's freaking awesome.
Yep. That's one of the best things about it is that you just it's the build up and the wondering is it actually, and until you see movement, you're like, this thing doesn't have to go. It does, even if you see it light up, you see billowing smoke shooting out the back, it's still not necessarily going anywhere.
That's the great thing about living here in the Space Coast is we're always here for it.
Yeah, you actually get to be here for it, and then the
only
hurdle is
trying to plan your vacation and then They're like, oh, they scrubbed it. I can't see it.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
hang
that's-
out and wait.
Something I didn't really think about is, I've been to at least one that got scrubbed, and it is disappointing to walk away and then maybe you're not off work the next day, and so you're like, well, I have to go to work, so I won't actually get to come out and see it. But I actually am here though. I don't have to go back home to like
Tennessee,
Washington and
Yeah.
and not be able to see it at all or
You
be
can be
anywhere
at
near it
work
at
here and
all.
just step outside.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely can. I'm lucky.
Yeah. Yeah,
We are lucky.
We are lucky. Hey, Bekah, could you turn your volume down just a touch, just a barely?
We'll see.
What was the other? Oh, the other one, the big one coming up. We have on December 17th the orbital flight test for Starliner.
Ooh.
And NASA has opened up media accreditation. And me and Matt are over here with our fingers crossed that NASA accepts me. NASA, please accept me as one of your
My
own.
fingers are crossed now too.
Pray
Is
to
my
the
volume better?
accepted God.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Fingers are crossed so hard that it's cramping up. Please, if anyone from NASA is listening, please.
You don't got to do all that, Matt. I think it doesn't matter how hard you cross your fingers. I don't think.
But it does
Well-
matter if you cross your toes as well. It helps.
If you
Does
can
that-
do that, that's impressive.
I can
Does that,
cross
like,
my
cancel
toes.
out?
I'm
Does it
crossing my
cancel it
toes right
out?
now.
No, you're
No,
not.
it helps.
I can't do
I'm
it.
crossing my toes.
It
I
totally
know.
helps with the luck.
Just my big and next toe. My big toe and my next toe.
Big and next.
Big and next. It's a new band. Starting this new band. Man,
Big and next.
this chair. I hate this chair. I'm like sick down. Like after a half hour, I'm like, wait a minute, why am I like down here? So this is a rendering. I will share my screen once again. This is a
If anybody's
rendering.
listening, we're going to start a GoFundMe for Steve-O a new chair. So if you would like to donate to that fund,
Man, what sucks is
we're
I
gonna,
spent.
we'll post the link soon.
It was not a cheap chair. It was like, I don't know, it was over $100, and I was like, yeah, this will be the last computer chair I buy.
Do I have the same chair?
No, yours is probably better.
Isn't it the same brand?
Well, mine doesn't say S Racer on it.
Well, then I guess it's not.
His says B Racer.
Says Ass Racer.
What?
Okay, so here's a rendering of Atlas V with Starliner on the top, and that's kind of cool to see. This is about the angle that I was at the last time I was at that pad. That was where I had my camera set up, and I can't wait to do that again with Starliner on top.
You know, I wish someone would make this a map on like Call of Duty or something, so you can run around.
Oh yeah, that'd be
pad.
awesome.
Oh man,
What an idea.
Just don't
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
have
be
the
cool.
Space Center map.
just don't accidentally shoot the rocket.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
See what happens.
Boom.
well they have it on Lego City. You're able to run around the VAB and everything.
Oh really?
I
yeah,
never did that.
yeah, the shuttle and everything like that. It's a Lego City. Yeah,
You're going to buy that game, aren't you?
my son has it.
I'm talking to
That's
Steve.
He's looking for right now.
Yeah. Let me pull up the window that the viewers can't see and try googling that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh man, we've got chat. Is anybody watching the chat? I just switched over. If the website doesn't include Mad Mike's launches, then that's a waste of my time. So Nathan is he's the host of our other podcast, Verbal Assault, and that is just hilarious. I'm afraid it does not include Mad Mike's launches. Let's see. Fragment. I guess I'm missing the Dragon Static Fire. I'm flying up for NG. Well, you wouldn't see the Dragon Static Fire anyway. Because they haven't even invited media. It's basically the same deal as the last one, the one that blew up. Like nobody even knew they were doing the test. Nobody in the public. I'm sure some people that are way more connected than we are know. But it was just kind of a surprise thing. Let's see. Arabsat 6A technically landed successfully. It just fell over before it got back. Oh, that was a drone ship landing. Oh, that was the Falcon Heavy. Yeah, it did land. Yeah, they have managed to land the center core the one time. but
Yeah.
Definitely bring it back in.
It just
that's what
fell
we're talking
over.
about, bringing it back in, like bringing it back in one whole piece.
Yeah, that was a big old bummer.
Yeah, I even was able to go out to the port and check out that.
Mm-hmm. Did you go out during the day? I saw it at night, and
Yeah.
it was really hard to see. I did get some okay shots of it when
Yeah,
it
I
was
got some
coming
good
in.
shots during the day.
Yeah, I think that was the one like where they were coming in and they were they had it scheduled. They were going to come in. It was going to be like a hard like 1:00 arrival, 1 a.m. arrival. They wanted to come in under the cover of darkness, and I can understand why. You know, you have a rocket that tipped over, and you're not trying to let everybody hanging out eating dinner or lunch at Fish Lips, see this busted up rocket. And so I'm listening to the port radio on Broadcastify. This is a website you can actually listen into all the port communications. Not all of them, but like the main general public one. And they're coming in, and they're calling for the port master, and he's just not responding. And they're like, port master, this is I can't remember which tug it was, but we're coming in. Got. Of course, I still love you with us, and we're coming in. We've got a hard arrival at 1 a.m., right? Nobody's answering. And if you were watching on Marine Traffic, you see all of a sudden it's Go Quest, like, takes off for the port, like, breaks off from the other tug that had the drone ship with it, and is, like... hurling towards the port, goes somewhere, I guess where the port master is, and apparently wakes him up. and then he gets on the mic, and he's like, hey, I'm here, and the guy, man, he had such an attitude. He's like, yeah, we're here, we had planned on a 1 a.m. arrival, right? He's like, oh yeah, come on in. We're sending out a pilot or whatever, because they have to do the pilot boat. Has to go out and actually pull him in. But that was just really funny. Julia was up for that too, and she, whenever we finally heard that they were coming in, we were like texting back and forth, and she's like, go, and I'm like, I'm going, because I was actually in bed. I wasn't sure if it was coming in. We never know with these things. What their schedule is. And then when they finally said, all right, we're coming in, it's like, oh, throw your shoes on, run up to the port. And then,
did they say that it fell over on the thing or no? On the radio?
Somehow we knew. I don't remember how we knew, but we did know. Maybe, man, I can't. Yeah, I don't remember how we knew. Somehow we'd caught wind that it had fallen over. It may have been a tweet by Elon, for all I know. I mean, he will tweet out about that stuff.
My rocket fell over.
Yeah.
My rocket broke in half.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Fragment says he thinks that it was announced. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it wasn't like insider knowledge or anything, It was just one of those things. We knew it had fallen over, and, we're port junkies. We wanted to go up there and get shots, Yeah, so December 17th, fingers crossed, we get us a real good launch. One of these ones that a lot of people really, it's like, I like the ones that everybody cares a lot about, when NASA's really behind it, like we're testing out this new hardware, just like they were for DM1, Jim Bridenstine's coming out, and you got, all the other NASA heads, they're coming out and giving speeches, and it's just, it's an exciting event, so I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. So those are the two actual dates that we have, and that's just exciting to finally be seeing some dates after, I mean, by the time we see a launch, it's going to be going on 3 months.
I thought there were 3 dates. Are there 3 dates?
Well, this November 2nd is not really a launch. It's just a static fire. And then the only...
That's something.
Well, the only other launch is not a hard date. It's just like the in-flight abort test is supposed to be the end of November. That's all we know.
Yeah, and Starlink, we don't have dates yet.
Yeah, no date for Starlink.
Nope. I was kind of hoping Starlink would go before CRS 19, but I don't know. That'll be questionable right now.
I don't know. I think Starlink still has a good chance of going in November.
In November sometime, yeah. Of course, CRS 19 is going to be going off. I believe it's on a Wednesday at like almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
So that'll be awesome for anybody who's is able to go over there and check that out.
Yeah.
Will that date hold? Who knows? Last time they what was it, CRS-17? They had to abort it because there was moldy cheese on board.
That's right.
All cheese is moldy.
Moldy cheese.
Yeah.
And moldy cheese, so they had to scrub it so they can get fresh cheese for the mice.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, at least they care about the mice.
That's nice of them.
How many millions did that cost?
Yeah, pretty much. Just so they can have non-moldy cheese for the mice.
I don't think they would care. Just brush it off.
To perform their best, they need the best.
Yeah.
The high quality government cheese.
Testing how mice interact in microgravity.
The first time the Dragon went to space or went to the space station, it had that wheel of cheese on it. Was it? Because I know that Dragon had its first orbital flight before it ever actually visited the space station. But on one of those 2 flights, they had the wheel of cheese. I bet this Fragman guy knows. Come on, Fragman, tell me the answer. Do you remember hearing about that, Matt? Yeah, I know. There's a delay. It's not gonna.
I remember about it.
It had the wheel of cheese. I think it was the first Dragon to reach orbit, which they reached orbit on their first attempt with Dragon. But yeah, they had that wheel of cheese, and they didn't tell anybody until the mission was successful because they didn't want to piss anybody off for being silly. But that's what I love about them. That is what I love.
It's always something new with them, man.
Okay, anything else Space Coast specific? Actually, well, a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about still Space Coast specific, because we got some moon stuff coming up. And most of that stuff's going to launch from right here.
Yep.
First, though, we have Rocket Lab made an announcement today, and I think I'll just roll this video and just let you guys enjoy it. Now, of course, Rocket Lab launches out of New Zealand and Wallops, so we unfortunately won't see them launching out of Cape Canaveral. Well,
not yet.
But we're still rooting on. Look at that little tiny engine on the back of that thing.
What is any of that? Like, would they just shoot a giant marshmallow into space? I don't understand.
All right,
it looks like a head. It looks like a head for a Lego guy.
All right, let's see this. Okay, so you understand this part. This is the second stage of the rocket, right? You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay, well, you have first stage, second stage. How far am I rolling back here? You understand why we have first and second stage?
I think she's talking about what came out of the rockets, the weird
thing
on the front.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know any of it, so.
Okay. All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, this goes back to the early days of NASA.
Saturn.
Yeah. Saturn V had 3 stages.
Yep.
Anyway, the rocket scientists figure out the most efficient way to do this, but you get yourself up there really high and going really fast. But then once you've depleted your fuel in the first stage, you can get rid of a lot of excess mass by just detaching it and dropping it away. And, oh, come on. Oh, is this not going to play now?
Yeah, why don't you use your mouse, Steve-O, to show her?
Oh. To show her.
So she could see
oh,
what
there you
you're
go.
talking about.
Yeah, this will be your first stage. First stage is the part of Falcon 9 that lands. It's the biggest part. Rocket Labs, yeah, the Electron, which is Rocket Labs rocket, they call it the Electron. It's quite a bit smaller, but it's this section here. And so when that fuel is gone, they drop it to lose that excess weight. So you're not pushing that higher, because it's going to take more fuel and energy to do it. So they eliminate the first stage, and now you're just to the second stage. And now that's your fairings falling off. And now you've got just
part of the second stage.
Yeah, well, this is the second stage here. And now this is just the payload and the, what are they calling it? Is it the proton?
Yeah, that looks like that would be a proton.
I think, no, not proton, photon. So this is something that Rocket Lab has developed. This is part of like their offering. Like if you're a payload provider that you want to put your satellite or probe or whatever up into orbit, but you don't want to have to build your own bus. And the bus is the thing that provides all the connectivity and the power and guidance and avionics and all this stuff. And it's the thing that you mount your instruments to, right? I don't know what this big gold thing is on the front. They lose it here in a second.
It looks like they modeled it after a shuttlecock. You know, the thing in badminton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
Yeah, it does. But I'm assuming these are solar panels here.
It's for God. He's going to hit it over, back and forth over the Earth.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of rules in badminton. I hope he knows them.
I'm sure he invented it.
And on the 8th day,
God's
God created badminton.
It's somewhere in the Bible. Look it up.
Just look it up. Just look it up.
You don't believe me? It's there.
So this thing is basically like a third stage, and it has this little tiny little engine on it. And when it comes around, it'll show you right there. This little. Oh.
Yep, lost the marshmallow.
Oh, there we go. It's got this little tiny little thing here, and I know it's hard to see scale, but I wonder if I could just pull up a picture of one of these.
Yeah, if that's Rocket Lab, that's not going to be a very big engine for the quote unquote third stage. Because Rocket Lab's rockets in general are just not very. They're not very big compared to like a Falcon 9.
Rocket Lab Photon. Okay, yeah, here, perfect. There's a picture of Peter Beck. Is that his name?
Yeah, see, that's not.
Yeah, so it's not huge, right? And this is the diameter of the rocket, so you can see that it's not that big of a rocket, right? And it's got this tiny little engine that's going to propel it the rest of the way. They get this part with the satellite. I am not subscribing. They get this part with the satellite attached to it into orbit first, and then this acts like a third stage, which can get the payload wherever else they want to go, as long as they've got the fuel for it. They call it the Delta V, and the Delta V is, in layman's terms, which is the only way I can explain it, is the amount of potential energy you have to impart on your spacecraft. So however much Delta V you have, that is going to determine how far you can go, what kind of orbits you can get to. If you can get to the moon or Mars, or go down to the sun or go up to Pluto, that your Delta V
it's
determines.
Just like fuel in your car,
basically, yeah. But there's like formulas to figure it out. It has to do with the mass of the object that you're propelling, and the energy of the fuel coming out of the back. And I don't understand those things. I just trust that other people do.
Someone's done the math.
Yeah, someone's done it.
I got paid a lot of money.
So they're gonna use that system. Did that help at all, Bekah? You're muted. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I don't know why they have all these fall leaves in the back. That's what that looks like to me. This looks like leaves.
Yeah, it looks like
a pile
to
of
me,
leaves
like
in the
the
back.
inside of a geode or something.
Yeah.
You know those aerated chocolate? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Like a
Extra.
Brillo pad.
That was the first thing I noticed when I saw this video. I was like, what? Why does it look like there's a pile of leaves back there? It might be like
one of their sandwiches. They just
Because
crumple
it's-
the tinfoil and put it in there.
Because it's fall.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Is it fall in New Zealand?
No, it's spring in New Zealand. If it's,
No. Theory's out the door now.
Yep.
Sorry, Bekah.
That's all right. You can't win them all,
Yeah, I don't think that they actually announced their first. They probably did. Who knows? I've just been out of it. But anyway, that's what Rocket Lab's going to do. They're going to put some stuff on the moon, and they have already planned on it. They actually have had the plans to put Moon Express on the moon. But who knows what Moon Express is doing? I mean, we haven't heard anything from them in a long time. Although they did not take ownership, I don't think, but they started a lease on one of the launch pads out there to do some testing or something.
Is that like a Panda Express they're putting up there? Bad jokes there.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And you waited a long time. You butted in a couple times with that one. And now Moon Express has been around for a while. They were part of the Google Lunar X Prize, but nobody won the Google Lunar X Prize because nobody was able to get launched in time. But to be fair, they did extend the deadline several times, and nobody was able to do it. But the companies were created to just to compete in the Google Lunar X Prize, and some of them are pressing on, and supposedly Moon Express is still pressing on. So hopefully they will. I mean,
and for anybody who wants to see a full mock-up, or I don't know if it's a mock-up or the actual thing, there is the actual Moon Express at the Kennedy Space Center, at the IMAX theater, right next to there's the Dragon capsule in there. There's a Starliner in there. It's all in that same room. Yeah, tucked in the corner is the Moon Express.
I didn't realize that. How long has that been there? Because I know I've been back in that room.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. It actually looks like a giant. Well, not even really a giant. It looks like an air compressor. Looks like those little smaller compressors that are small, and yeah, that's what it looks like. Looks like a little air compressor.
So, funny story. One of our regulars at work. I deliver pizza, y'all. That's how I pay the bills. One of our regulars.
Pizza.
He's
wrong company.
I know.
He's apparently moved, but he works for Moon Express. Unfortunately, he's not the talkative type, and I was never able to get any information at all out of him. Like the first time I made the connection because he had a truck parked outside with the Moon Express logo. Now he's it's in a condo, so it could have been anybody's. And I was like, "Hey, you know who that Moon Express truck is?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's me." I was like, "Oh, you work for Moon Express? Hey man, rooting you guys on. Been watching you guys." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool," and I was like, I tried to ask him, like, you have any kind of a time frame when you guys are gonna be able to put something up, or he's like, no, not really, and like he never really wanted to have conversation. It was just, give me the pizza, I'll give you your money. Sometimes you're, I know he's hungry. He probably didn't want to talk to the pizza guy. I understand that.
He's like, what's that guy gonna know about rocket science?
Yeah, nothing. Only what I read in tweets and on Reddit. That's about it. All right, let's move on. So Blue Origin had a big announcement today, and
so real quick before we do move on, if anybody is wondering, the Moon Express office is actually right next to the SpaceX Launch and Landing Control Center,
right
next to Space Florida as well. So, and also there you can go in there and check out the Sand Space Museum. Lots of really cool stuff in there as well. They're kind of all in the same little building, which is right next to actually where the Falcon 9s land, LZ1 and 2.
Yeah, really close to it anyway. So Jeff Bezos was there at IAC, and he had an announcement to make, and I will just play this for you now.
I'm excited to announce that we have put together a national team to go back to the moon. Blue Origin is the prime contractor. Lockheed Martin is building the ascent stage. Northrop Grumman is building the transfer element, and Draper is doing the GNC. We could not ask for better partners. This is a national team for a national priority, and this is the kind of thing, it's so ambitious. It needs to be done with partners. This is the only way to get back to the moon fast. And this time we're going back to the moon, and we're not going back to the moon to visit. We're going back to the moon to stay.
All right.
Yeah.
To what now?
We're going back to the moon to stay. That's the plan.
Yeah, they want to build a base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just go hang out for a little bit and then leave. He wants to colonize.
Yeah, there's a thing called the Artemis program that was announced earlier this year, where it was Trump's idea, and Jim Bridenstine is in charge of kind of promoting it and trying to make it happen. He's the NASA administrator. And the whole goal is to get back to the moon by 2024. That's what Artemis is. Like, think Apollo was, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and all the others. Apollo had a twin sister named Artemis, so that's why they've named it Artemis. And the plan is, well, I mean, they haven't said it. I mean, they talk a lot about the first woman and the next man. I'm pretty sure they're going to make it a woman that steps down first. Don't you think? I mean, just it seems like what they're probably going to do, which is totally cool. I think they should. So there's a lot of companies that are trying to, and what I see is it's a huge space conference. It's like the space conference. It's like the Comic-Con of space. All the big companies come out and they show what they've got, and it looks like right now, all these companies they're vying for contracts from NASA, because at some point, hopefully, if Artemis is to succeed, there's gonna have to be some money set aside to do these contracts to get us to the moon. And so Blue Origin has teamed up with Lockheed and Northrop Grumman and Draper to develop a system where Blue Origin would use their rocket. It would be the New Glenn, would launch all this stuff. And Blue Origin is also working on their Blue Moon lander, which I can show you a picture of. They'll use that to get down to the lunar surface. Blue Moon lunar lander.
Quick fact: does anyone know how much Bezos is worth?
A lot, like $134 billion, something like that.
You were in the ballpark. 110 billion.
110.
He's only 16 years older than me. Man, do I feel not accomplished.
That's so much money, man. Oh my God, $110 billion. Yeah. My God, that is so much money, man. That's insane.
So he can fund this his whole self if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna. How many billions?
110 billion.
Oh, he could. What's he doing? Just just hack off half of that and give it to NASA and say, "Have fun."
Yeah, I mean, shares off of Amazon,
because they only get like 20 billion a year, and that's not enough, right? It's not enough to do it. Anyway,
it says Bezos lost 7 million just today.
7 million.
7 billion. Yeah, he's lost $7 billion today.
Oh, that's too bad.
The stock dropped 6%, and that's on the percentage of how much stocks he owns.
Dang.
Yeah. So this is the lander, Bekah. They've been developing, and it's just Blue Origin is such a weird company. Like they have been in development for so long, yet they're able to land these contracts with these huge companies that have been around for so long.
Money talks.
I was about to say, you got it.
Yeah.
Money talks, man. That's where it's at. No matter what it is, money talks.
Yeah, and it's good that they teamed up with companies like them, because they have a lot of experience that I'm sure Blue Origin is going to tap into. I mean, Blue Origin is the prime contractor, but I'm sure that they're going to be teaching them a thing or two, help speed up the process. And I just noticed, I was wondering earlier about what their fuel is. I forgot what it was, and that says LH2, which means liquid hydrogen, and that means that maybe in the future they actually will be able to refuel it on the moon, because there's a lot of talk about, okay, well, we found water on the moon. We can obviously use the oxygen for breathing, obviously the water for the things you need water for. You need some water from time to time. And then you can use oxygen and hydrogen separately as rocket fuel, but everybody's going to methane. But apparently not with their lander, so that's good that they're going to actually do hydrogen fuel, which means that they can actually use the water on the moon to refuel their lander. I don't know if they would, because what they're doing is they're doing a lunar lander, and then they're also going to have an ascent stage, which is going to be built by
probably Northrop.
Is it Northrop? Let me see. No, Northrop is doing the transfer element. So that's going to be the piece that separates from Gateway, which is basically a space station around the moon. So the transfer element is going to be attached to the lander, and they're going to separate together, and then the lander will separate from that and go down. And Lockheed Martin is building and they're saying it's a reusable ascent element. So the ascent element is going to depart from the landing element, which it's I don't know, man. Like it's kind of like doing it the same way as we did it before. Like, why are we,
It's what it is. It's all these companies are all, they kind of all piggyback off of each other. You know what I mean? Lockheed Martin, is here, they're there. You know what I mean? Kind of like with the Falcon. Falcon's using Blue Origin engines.
Right.
You know what I mean? They kind of all play off of each other. The only ones who's not really playing anybody else's game is SpaceX.
I know.
They're in a league all on their own, and that's why everybody loves SpaceX, is because they don't need anybody else. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
They're building their own engines. They're building their own rockets.
It's like,
they don't need
anybody
else.
There's a part of me sometimes it feels like that, SpaceX is like they're the odd man out. Like the rest of the industry, like they just don't like their style, and they don't include them on partnerships like this. And now, but granted, if they were included on partnerships like this, would it slow them down?
They might have got lazy.
Yeah, it would probably slow them down because if they had some kind of thing they had to work out with other companies and stuff. Like, it's just like, no,
yeah,
we just
that's
gotta
exactly
do our own
right.
thing. They probably don't even want. But they're going to have to. At some point, they're going to have to, because there's going to be some elements that SpaceX can't do on their own. They can't do it all. If they really want to get to Mars and build a colony on Mars, they're going to need other companies to come in and build certain elements of it. They want to build the transportation. Obviously, they're going to need life support. Maybe they can do it themselves. I mean, they're getting a lot of experience with Crew Dragon on life support. So that, they can scale that up to Starship. So, okay, sure, they can have that handled themselves. But when it comes to, building the habitats and stuff, there's going to have to be other companies involved. And maybe it's not really a partnership with SpaceX. It's more like SpaceX is delivering their habitats, just like they do any payload,
Or SpaceX could be like Google and just start buying out companies that do it.
Yeah. It could be.
Then be like, we did it.
Yeah.
Technically, you didn't, but yeah, you do own them now.
Right.
That's what Google does.
It'll be interesting to see all this develop.
I know.
And, come into fruition,
It's starting to really feel like a competition, everyone's competing over that NASA money, because
it's a new age space race.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And
it's a new space race, and it is awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
We're the ones that benefit because we get to check all this stuff out.
Yeah.
We get to see all the launches. We get to take all the pictures. We get to, hopefully soon, Bekah can check out her first landing of a booster. That's just going to be, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the next few years is going to be just incredible. It's just going to be incredible. Oh, yeah. And when before the show, we were talking, and then you brought up all the cranes. And so I brought up Julia's tweet, the picture that she took of all the work going on at the Blue Origin launch pad. And I want to say it's pad 34. It might be 36. I don't know, but it's one of the southernmost launch pads at the tip of Cape Canaveral, if not the southernmost. But they are doing a lot of work out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah. She's saying that it's the integration building and the water tower. Yeah, so I should share my screen so you guys can see.
Also, just at their facility that's over by the visitor center, they're doing still tons of.
Yeah, they're building a new building over there.
There's two buildings. There's another large building. I'm not even sure that's theirs. That's to the south.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's no signage outside when I drove by.
Well, this looks like this is going to be the water tower. Of course, you need a water tower because you have to have a water deluge system. Because right before it launches, you got to dump all that water to dampen the sound and a little bit for cooling.
You don't want to crack the pad.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of work. Somebody made the joke. I think it was Chris B from NASA Spaceflight that between Blue Origin and SpaceX, they pretty much got the crane industry cornered.
Yeah.
That's why I-4 is taking so long.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Local inside joke.
They have all the cranes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's it for Blue Origin. Oh, well, look at that. She says it right there. Launch complex 36. It is 36.
Yeah.
I'll take Julia's word for it. She says it's 36. I'll believe her. Oh, well, that's okay. Here's another tab, but it's just about the orbital flight test. It's just that picture of the Atlas V sitting there, and that's it. That's all I had to talk about. What else you guys got?
Got one step closer for possibly moving Starship.
Oh yeah. Let's look up your Twitter feed. Everybody follow Steven Kegel. It's at FLA Steve 321.
Yes, 321.
Here we go. Now, help me out, because I couldn't tell really what I was looking at with the first picture.
All right, I'll show you when you find it.
I'm on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see it. So, see how the power line is coming towards us in the photo
This right here?
up top? See,
Oh,
it's
up
going to
here?
go. It goes across the road.
Uh-huh.
Well, where these lower black cables are, that wraps up there, that used to go across the road.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so that's down.
Okay, wait. So which way is
This is a different spot. There was two. This is the one spot that's down, and then the other photo's a different place. So this is actually two different locations where those photos are at.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so they made it so that those aren't crossing the street anymore because when the Starship moves, it's too
tall, yeah. But these up here, these are tall enough.
That's power lines. So those are brand new poles. So
we made them taller.
You can see existing telephone pole on the left. They probably cut off like 4 feet off of it, and that's where the power lines were. So they added a good probably 10 feet.
Uh-huh.
So it's 10 feet higher than they were before.
Okay. Yeah, that I mean, it's hard to tell scale kind of, but that looks plenty high enough to get Starship underneath it.
I'm sure it is if they've done it. I'm sure they did the math.
Yeah. And then the next photo. Now this I did understand, and I get you probably taking this while you're driving.
I was driving, but I took it because if you look to the left where the transformers are, there's a cable wrapped up down there that was over there.
Okay.
So they're all down and tapped in, and it's all
now,
most of them are all fiber, so it took them a long time.
Do you think it's permanent? You think they're going to leave it this way?
Yeah, if they've already buried it underground, they're not going to put it back up. It's just it's going to take them time to get to
make it look pretty, because you got this like a curly thing that doesn't look normal, right? Like that doesn't look like it needs to stay
this down
that
here.
way.
See how big? There's like a black box down there.
Right there.
That's like where all the lines feed in. So eventually they're gonna. I mean, I've been just introduced into fiber, so I'm not that knowledgeable yet, but I'm sort of getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
But that's like a junction box where they all go and feeds out, and you can splice in or splice out and make new lines off of it. So.
And this actually, here's what I'll do for the viewers. We'll go to Google Maps, and we will quickly search for coastal steel. And give me that
the picture now has it.
All right. So, okay. So what you're looking at here, this opening, is this road right
FedEx
here.
Road there.
Yeah, the FedEx road. Because in case you're new to this whole moving Starship idea, they're going to move it. This is where Starship is. Of course, Google Maps hasn't been updated, but they're going to come through here, down the FedEx road, and then go down Grissom Parkway. And now I won't go over the whole route, but
so we're across from that pond was the spot where the lines were, and then the next spot. So those are all gone.
Yeah. Tell me. So this photo was taken where?
So if you zoom out, or you go to the right a little bit. Right there, that building, that Bavard.
Right here, rigging.
Bavard rigging supply. So that's right in front of there. And then also there was one right where it's the Superior Hobbies, there was also lines going across there.
Okay, and those have all been raised.
Yep, they're all they've been raised, and then also all the communication lines, the fiber lines are all down.
Okay.
So they're not in the way anymore.
And as far as we know, is that the last of the power lines and stuff to be moved before they can move Starship?
In that path, yeah.
And also, as far as we
bridges.
know, there's some kind of an agreement between SpaceX and Virgin, who's building the rail line, that they won't complete that bridge until they move Starship, right? Which is another hint that they might not build another Starship out here.
Yeah, I mean they're already got a huge concrete piling. They're hammered in the ground right now.
It looks like they're about to build another one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to find another route if that once that bridge goes in for that rail line.
Yeah,
they're not gonna be able to go that way.
It's not gonna be high enough. No, it won't be. It'll probably be like 15 feet. That's usually the standard, 15, 16 for a bridge.
I wonder if they have plans to build some other access point to the. Is there even a possibility of that? Like another access to the river? Maybe they. Maybe they cut through here and like go down this road right here, all this residential street, and just go right out here. Who knows, man? Because it does look. But somebody made the point. It might have even been you, Kegel, that they might just build the rings out here, and then just ship them over,
ship them out, and then assemble it out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that facility where it's at's not very big, but they've added a lot. So I don't know. They'll plan on keep on doing stuff because they've definitely put some investment. In that site. So who knows? They might just do it in sections, or they'll just build certain components there.
So is SpaceX, are they leasing that coastal steel building, or have they bought it?
As far as I'm pretty sure it's a lease that's going on, because the coastal steel is closed, but obviously there's an owner of the property, and so they're just leasing the property from them. And I'm sure the equipment, because there was already some equipment in there too, right? From when there used to be an operation. And so they're using some of that equipment, and I'm sure they brought in a lot of their own equipment too.
Yeah, they've added a lot there, so that guy's making out when they move out.
Yeah, if they leave it there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they're gonna take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the tents and whatever it sheds.
What's he gonna do with
it? I don't know.
He could
make a haunted house out of it.
You could rent it out for like SpaceX fanboys to come and sleep.
Oh, you can do tours.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, this is where they did build the Mach 1.
Yeah.
Well, here's a wrench that was left.
Yeah, here's a wrench that was turned by a SpaceX employee.
Yeah. Yep.
He really loved that wrench.
Some scrap metal. Get your picture next to some scrap metal.
I should probably check the chat. Okay, no.
Nah, nothing going on. Everybody fell asleep.
Yeah. All right. Well, anybody else got anything worth adding?
No.
Becca's got a cat.
That's worth adding. Can you see her?
Oh yeah, I can see her. She doesn't want to look.
I got a skeleton.
This is something you only get if you're a Space Coast local.
His cats.
My cat.
This was my cat, and this is what happens.
What?
What?
Huh?
You don't see
the cat skeleton.
Oh, it's covered up by all the little thumbnails.
Oh.
All right. Well, that's a show. So we're hopefully gonna have lots of cool stuff to show you soon. Cool stuff to talk about. Get some launches. Some cool pictures, videos. I don't know, time lapse. I want to be a part of that. The Starliner transport and mating to the Atlas V, because I'm hoping that I can get some good time lapse of that, because that seems like something that's going to happen very slowly.
And I know that Steve has applied to that.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, I have. I've applied to 4 different things, and hopefully they approve me for all of them. But you'll find out here first. If I don't get approved, or if I do, I'll let y'all know that I'll be in there.
soon we'll have a audio version. So if you want to mow the lawn or drive around and listen to us,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know,
can.
if you feel like you can sacrifice the visual, you know, of like showing you the pictures of stuff, and you know, and I know it's not always necessary to see stuff. Yeah, we're working on that audio version. It's already up on Spotify, right?
Yeah, just waiting for iTunes and Google to review it.
Do the preview or do the review. All right, cool. Well, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pressing4Flight. That's a number 4 in there. And if you're watching us, you can just see everybody's Twitter handles on here. Give us a shout. You never know what we might see when we're living around on the Space Coast.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Just living around.
Just living around. You might see something and take a picture of it and post it on Twitter. And then you'll be like, oh, bam, that's cool.
Look, a gator.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did see some gators. We went looking for gators and actually saw one.
Oh, I got something before we close. Is the Net Geo is actually filming the right stuff here in my town.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. The local town posted the video of them doing all the filming and everything. So Bekah, Steve, all you guys, if you want to go on my profile on Facebook, you'll actually be able to see it. It's really cool. It's like old vintage, 50s, and they had snow going and everything. It was
No.
really,
Snow.
yeah, man, that's why I was like, snow.
Why are they in Winter Park? Why
Well,
they go
because
somewhere?
they ended up filming like a big, huge section of the right stuff. The new series for Nat Geo is here, and they ended up doing it all in one day. So they actually had the city hall here. Oh no, it wasn't city hall. It was the terminal one. The train station is actually where they do the farmers market here every Saturday. That's the part where they had it snowing and everything. So yeah, it was pretty cool. If I didn't have to work, I would have definitely went down there and checked it out.
Yeah,
sure.
man, that would have been cool. They'd dress you up like it was the 50s or 60s or whatever. I guess it would have been
98 degrees outside.
50.
Yeah, it was the 50s.
Yeah, it was the 50s. Yeah, when they were just starting to recruit the astronauts. Yeah.
It was actually Mercury 7, and then they go over the Mercury 13, the ladies of Mercury 13 as well.
Yeah.
We told you that they filmed here, right? Like a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Out here on the beach.
So they've been going back and forth between Cocoa Beach and here where I live. I was actually talking to a customer today, and she said that her sister does a lot of the stuff for Hollywood, and that's what she was saying is that they've been going back and forth between Cocoa and here. So I guess these are two of the main spots here in Florida that they're going to be filming the right stuff is Cocoa Beach, obviously, because Cocoa Beach is very historic to do a space flight, and then here. I guess because the downtown area here has a real historic, homey feel. Like they have a lot of the really old buildings still. They haven't really updated anything.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the reasons why. And we have a really cool car show here too. So
Cocoa Beach does not look like anything that it did in the 60s and 50s when you look at those photos.
But the beach does. The beach still looks the same.
Yeah, the beach looks there. Yeah, he'll give you that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it'll be cool once that comes out. Once they finally get that on that Geo to check it out and be like, oh, I know that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go there often.
So thanks for tuning in, Fragman and Nathan. Appreciate you being here.
Happy Halloween, everybody. I had to say that.
Yeah,
happy Halloween.
Yeah, because next show will be on Halloween.
On Halloween.
Oh, that will
you gonna be able to make it? You got a kid you got to take out.
Yeah, we got trick or treating, man. We gotta get those cavities, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep the dentist in business.
Yeah.
It may be a late show, or we may do it a different day, or something like that. But yeah, hey, well, that's a good reason to follow us on Twitter because that's where you'll find out about it. And if you don't do Twitter, follow us on Facebook because we do have a page on there. And if you're watching this, you're on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
All right. Well, yeah, I think Kegel has something to play us out.
Time to close it.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutting down.